the name that's above every name. I was talking to a young lady earlier this week that was having some issues. Just didn't know how to deal with it. Felt like some demons were coming upon her spirit. She read the word, and she got in the Bible, and it seemed like she was still being plagued with these nightmares and dreams. And as I sought to console her, I recall having some of those instances myself in my youth and even in my adult life. You know, when you stand for Jesus, the longer you stand, the harder the enemy comes towards you. So when all else seems to fail, and you don't know what else to do, just call on the name of Jesus. The devils and the demons will flee. Someone will be up in your face at work. And you say, Jesus, I guarantee you they'll step back. First, they're going to think you're crazy. And second, they know that you called on a name that holds the power of earth and heaven above. And they'll step back and think about what they're saying to you. But you give you time to collect yourself before you knock them out. Amen, somebody.
Amen.
This morning, we want to look at some scripture within that same context of how we can stand on the word in the name of Jesus. Let us pray. Lord, as we come now, the only way we can receive your word, the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight. We will now remove Richard Keller from the pulpit and just fill the vessel that's standing before you with your word that you have for your people. Let it fall upon their hearts and their souls like the dew falls upon the roses in the morning time. This is our prayer. In the precious name of Jesus we pray. Church say, amen. Amen. This morning, I want us to look at Daniel in the 3rd chapter. Daniel in the 3rd chapter, and you'll find in the bulletin that is printed in there a few verses that we've taken to look at this morning. So what you'll find printed is verses 14, 15, 17, and 20 from the 3rd chapter of Daniel. You'll find that this is a passage that I know you all are familiar with, about the 3 Hebrew boys in the fiery furnace. And we want to look at this scripture, the whole chapter. I want you to go home this afternoon and just read the entire chapters in entirety. But we want to focus on a couple of verses here as we provide a context. We're looking at verses 16. But actually, if you really want to get the gravity of what's going on here, let me just summarize where you was at. In the first book of Daniel, we find that in the 3rd reign of Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, actually overtook Judah. And when he overtook Judah, they ravaged the land, but they left some people there to stay on the land. But when they left some people there, Nebuchadnezzar said, well, you know, I want to pick out some of the best and the brightest. Because he knew that the Hebrew people had studied long and they were strong, and some of them were smart, particularly in the royal family. And so he brought some of those back. He handpicked. I said, I think I want this one here, Daniel, and I want this one here, and I want this one here, and I want that one over there. And he brought them back to Babylon to get them involved in the culture of the Babylonian people. He wanted them to be totally assimilated into the Babylonian culture. They began to understand the culture, learn the language, understand their math, understand their whole concepts of their government and their society. And in the midst of doing all of that, he wanted them to even eat their food. Now, you know, when we travel around the world, different people eat different food. So if you go over to China and you want some, you know, some pork chops and some ribs, they're not going to have that thing. So when these Hebrew boys were in Babylon, the king said, well, you're going to have the food and wine that we eat. And then he said, no, I don't think we want to do that because it goes against their custom. He said, and the guards got really upset with Daniel when he said this. And they said, no, you have to eat this. He said, I'll tell you what, let us eat what we eat for 10 days. And then after that, tell me what you think about our strength. And after 10 days, when they fasted, and they were just eating vegetables and drinking water, they were stronger than the Babylonians who had been eating the king's food and drinking the king's wine. And so right then, Daniel had gained some favor because they said, oh, this young man has something on the bone. We want to really lift him up and make him a leader. And he said, as Daniel was being lifted up to be a leader, he said, but you know what? Can I bring my homeboys with me? You know? And they said, oh, okay, you can bring your homeboys with you. And so here they are in Babylon. Now they've been captives, but now they've been placed in some high posts in the government because now they've learned things and they've become smart and adapted in the culture. And so some of the Babylonians who were in those positions got moved out. They said, look, we're going to put you in a training program. We're going to make you interns. And for 3 years, they studied. And they studied the culture of Babylon. And as they studied the culture of Babylon, they grew in prominence. And the people respected them, except maybe those folks that got moved out of their position. Now, have you ever been in a job when somebody says, well, look, and I heard this on Steve Harvey's show the other day, I won't be long. They put a prank on somebody. They had human resources call up and say, hey, you know, how's that guy doing out there that we put in training to the supervisor? Oh, he's doing a good job. He's going to go places. He's going to do things. They said, yeah. Is he really doing good? Yeah, he's doing fantastic. Okay, he said, well, look, at the end of the week is the end of his training period. He said, yeah, he's going to do fine. He said, well, we want you to give him your keys, your pass card, and then you come over to HR and we'll have something else for you. He said, oh, wait a minute. I just trained this guy. You trying to tell me he's going to take my keys? Oh, not just your keys, but you know that parking spot that you had? That's close to the building? Yeah, he's got that too. And so it was a prank that they pulled on this guy. He began to use all kinds of explicatives on the air. But think about that scenario and then how these captives come over to Babylon and now they're in positions of authority. They had some haters. They had some haters out there. So, as the story moves on, we come to the third chapter, or the second chapter. Daniel is dealing with interpreting the king's dream. Nobody could interpret the king's dream. Not any of the Babylonian magicians or astrologers. Nobody could figure it out. But Daniel began to figure out how can we gain the king's favor, because the king was going to have everybody killed because they couldn't interpret his dream. And Daniel went and he got his homeboys and said, let's pray to God that he will give us wisdom to interpret the dream. And God gave him the interpretation of the dream. And then Daniel went and said, King, I got it. He said, but I don't have it. It came to me through my God. See, what happens is to be so high and it's going to look over the kingdom. And you know, Nebuchadnezzar was kind of an egocentric kind of guy. He was kind of a narcissist, loved himself, liked to see all kinds of idols that the Babylonian people worship. And so he built this big statue and he erected it, kind of like the building that we see down on Canal Street, and the building that we see on other places, and was raised up and wanted people to worship that statue. And not only that, but on the statue, the head of the statue represented him. It was his head. It was his face. And he wanted people to bow down to him and that statue. Nebuchadnezzar had surrounded himself with people who were yes men. People who would do whatever he said do. Even those captives that came from Israel were doing what he said do. You know, you've seen statues like that. On the top of them, they had TRUMP. Surrounded himself in meetings with people that say, yes, boss, thank you for this job. I'm talking about President Trump. I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you like it is. That surrounds himself with yes people, really living in that time that Daniel lived in way back in the day. But Daniel took it upon himself to say, no, we're not coming. And if you'll find the scripture here, the scripture tells us King Nebuchadnezzar sought to gather everybody together, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the Supreme Court, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication of this image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And so everybody came, and then the herald was supposed to cry out over the loudspeaker, to you it is commanded, O people and nations and languages, that at the time you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the harp, the lyre, the psaltery, and then simply you'll look at this gold image, and whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. So at the time when all the people heard the sound, as they were instructed, they all fell down, and people of all languages, all customs, all society, bowed down to this statue. But there were 4 guys that didn't do it. They had been named Daniel, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. And what happened was that those people that were haters, they ran straight to the king. The king, oh king, you made this guy governor of the province, and his politicians that represent him, they ain't bowing down. Nebuchadnezzar said, you must be mistaken. These are my interns. These are the ones I groomed. He said, Nebuchadnezzar was a little bit upset. And he said, go get them. And when you get them, bring them to me. And Nebuchadnezzar spoke to them. He said, is this true? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the gold image that I have set up? Now, if you're ready at the sound and fall down and worship the God that we made, y'all be good. I'm giving you another opportunity. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered the king and said, oh, Nebuchadnezzar, we have no intention to do that. And we're not going to even address this fact. But let it be known that we understand that if you say we're going to be thrown into a fiery furnace, if that is the case, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us from your hand. But if not, let it be known, O king, that we do not serve you. And we will not serve your gods, nor will we worship the gold image which you have set up. And Nebuchadnezzar was like highly upset. And he called his secret servants, the biggest guys he could find, and said, I want you to bind them up. And he commanded these men of valor, who were his army, and they bound up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these men were bound in their coats and their trousers and turbans and other garments, and were cast into the burning fiery furnace. Now, what do you need to know about this fiery furnace? Because he was so upset, he said, I want this fire stoked to be 7 times hotter than it's ever been before. And don't you know that when they stoked that fire 7 times hotter, y'all know about the number 7? It's the number of divine completion. It's the number of divine deliverance. So 7 times this fire was stoked hot. Even the men that went to throw Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego in the fire got burned up as they threw them into the fiery furnace. Dissipate. Just like that. Gone. 7 times it was hot. And so we live in an age, church, that we are in a crisis of moral behavior. Our values are being perverted from the White House to the outhouse. Our principles are being inverted. Dishonesty, lies, good converted, and evil concerted. All this crazy behavior is that man has substituted his will for God's will. We've engaged in worship of things rather than the worship of God. Because God says to us in Exodus, you must not have any other God but me. You must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord, your God, am a jealous God, who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego said no. We will not bow. We will not go. You see, because Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were inculcated and deeply involved in the Judaic religion. They believed in the God Yahweh. They had understood the precepts and the concepts of where they had been trained and how they had been trained. And they said, no, we cannot do that. We've already told you that we're going to eat your food, and look how we are. We're not bowing down to your gods. Now it's interesting because King Nebuchadnezzar has said, when he told him about the dream, oh, I'll accept you and your God. Now all of a sudden, he's forgotten who their God is. And so you may ask, what's the point of this story? We don't need to be bowing down to the gods of this world, but we have to stand firm in the Lord. We need to be fired up for Jesus. We need to be fired up that we need to spread the word of the gospel. We need to be fired up so that we can stand the trials of the wilderness just like Jesus stood the trials of the wilderness. When he answered, no, I'm not going to do any of that, you devil. Get behind me. We will not bow down. We don't need to turn away from those things that we believe in as a people, as Christians. They did not pivot their faith upon whether God delivered them or not. They would trust and believe in God if he delivered them, or even if he didn't. They said, I will trust in the Lord till I die. What a faith that you gotta have, hoping and waiting that God will intervene into your situation. And all of us have times in our lives and experiences where we're wondering, is God going to come? Is he going to come in the midst of my situation? Sometimes we can't understand him and he seems to be far removed. You know, I thought I had faith. I really did. But I don't know whether I have faith in anything now. And so you begin to wonder. But these Hebrew boys, they didn't begin to wonder. This we do know, that God will deliver us out of our hand, okay? What they were saying, what they meant was, we may be burned to a cinder, and our lives may be snuffed out. But, oh King, we will be in a place where your hand can't touch us, in a building not made with hands, where your commandments cannot torment us, where we shall be in the presence of the great King Jehovah of heaven. And see, it disturbs me because I see in our society today. A lot of our young African American men complaining about what they don't have. It's not what you don't have, it's what you do have. You got to remind them that we all possess a creative, positive attitude, combined with other blessings that God has given us. And you got to know that God will surely make a way, even when you think there is no way. You see, God has a work He wants to do through a few of us, fired up Christians, of people who have known hatred, yet still have strength of love. God has a work of redemption and healing to do through us as Christians. God will do through us collectively and individually. But you got to watch out for somebody who say, I can do it, I can do it. Don't let that become more important than what God wants to do in you and through you. We need a few Christians that are fired up to save our children. A few Christians that are fired up that can help restore our families. A few Christians that can empower our women. A few Christians that are ready to stand on the word of Jesus. You see, God never sends us into a situation without preparing the way. We need a few good Christians fired up to stand on the courage of their convictions. We need a few good Christians to have the fear of God so implanted in our soul and have the love of Christ so strongly developed in us that we will not be turned away from the path of duty, even though we're confronted by all the powers of darkness. We need a few good, fired-up Christians who dare to do the unpopular thing because it commands itself to consciousness. You see, all of our ancestors, we were transported from Africa, brought here from the motherland. Just like the 3 Hebrew boys were brought when King Nebuchadnezzar transplanted them into their society. I think of Daniel as being like Barack Obama. We're brought here from a foreign land, and all of a sudden we rise up to the highest position in the land. I think Barack has some haters. Do you all agree? Here's a soul-searching point. The Hebrew boys were thrown into the fiery furnace. All 3 of them. But we got to remember where they came from and what they believed in. You see, the king Nebuchadnezzar gave them those names, just like Kunta Kinte was given Tony. They weren't Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Those were their slave names. The real name for Shadrach was Hananiah. The Lord shows grace. He believed in his heart that the Lord would show him grace and mercy because of God's unmerited favors toward him. Amazing grace! How sweet the sound that saves a wretch like me. Meshach would not bow down because his Hebrew name was Mishael, who is what God is. In other words, he believed that God was God all by himself. God says that I am, that I am. So Meshach believed that God would be a deliverer from the fiery furnace that would deliver him. So he refused to bow down. And Abednego, he would not bow down because his Hebrew name has a right. The Lord helps. Nebuchadnezzar didn't know what he had come up with. So I say to us as a church, don't bow down to the gods of drugs, sex, money, jealousy, empathy, gossip, corruption, and all of that stuff. Don't bow down to doing it my way. Do it God's way. Stand up against these slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. We've got a great history. We're a great people. God has brought us from a mighty long way. We were formed out of adversity. But we fashioned as African Americans a unique perspective on humanity. They gave us straw and we gave them bricks. They gave us seeds and we gave them cotton. They gave us sorrow and we wrote the songs. They gave us pain and we wrote poems. They gave us trouble and we turned it into testimony. They gave us the blues and guess what? We made music. They gave us segregation. We gave us spelling. They gave us misery. We gave them Morehouse. They gave us terror and we gave them Tuskegee. They called us failures and we gave them fists. They gave us burdens and we called them bishop. They gave us hell and we call it house. back to the story, There's a very interesting principle as I hasten to my seat. Nebuchadnezzar had thrown them into the fiery furnace. And then he looked with haste, because the men that he had sent there to burn them up were burned themselves. When he looked in the fiery furnace, and he saw Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego just walking around. Yo, what's up, man? Hey, what's happening? What we gonna have for dinner tonight? I don't know. We're gonna eat the vegetables way eating King's food. Yeah. And the king looks in the furnace and he sees them walking around. Did we not cast them? Didn't I tell you to make the fire 7 times hot? He said, wait. Whoa. Wasn't that 3 men we cast in the midst of the fire? Yeah. And they said, certainly, O king, it was. And he said, well, look, I see 4 men loose walking about in the midst of the fire without harm. And it looks like the 4th one it almost looks like the Son of God. And you all might ask, what is Jesus doing here when he hadn't come yet? You got to remember, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. He's been with us the whole time since the beginning. He just kind of showed up to give you a preview to what's coming. In the fiery furnace, don't you know, church, that whenever you're in a burning situation, that God is going to be there right in the midst of your situation. Nebuchadnezzar was like tripping out, because now he saw that 4th person in there. And he's like, oh my God, let me get the boys out of there. Because now there's a 4th person in there, and he had them come out, come on out, y'all, come out. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the midst of the fire. The satraps, the prefects, the governors, and the king's high officials all gathered around. And they saw that the fire had no effect on their bodies. Now the hair on their heads was singed. Their trousers were not damaged. Remember, they had bound them up, tied them up. They were walking around freely. They didn't even have to smell the smoke on them. Don't you know that God will make your enemies your footstool? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my foes, came upon me to yield my flesh, they stumbled and fell. The host shall rise against me. My heart will not fear. No war shall come against me. And this will I be confident. One thing that I desire, that I seek after, I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and inquire in his temple, for in the time of trouble. I don't know what your fiery furnace is, church. I don't know if your furnace is in your financial difficulties. I don't know if your furnace is in drug addiction. I don't know if your furnace is in the courtroom that you're going to be going in tomorrow. I don't know if the furnace is in your divorce proceedings that you're going. But I'm trying to tell you, whatever your furnace is, that God will stand there right in the midst. For the scripture tells us that when you go through the flood, I'll be with you. When you go through the fire, I'll be with you. Moses knew what it was when he saw that burning bush. Remember that bush that was burning but not consumed? Know that when you're in the fire, and you're right, there ain't nothing gonna harm you. God got you. We need some Christians who are fired up for Jesus, fired up for the Lord, that stand for righteousness, that stand for what's good. We need the church more than we ever needed before. God is trying to stir up our gifts. And as I close, I want to say, Christians, we got to stand up and be fired up for justice. We have to be fired up for inequality. We have to be fired up and not bow down to Trump. Fired up and not bow down to Congress. Fired up that we can have principalities and power come up against the one that is the most powerful word in the world. That's the name of Jesus. Every knee shall bow, and every tongue shall confess that that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God. So stand up, church. Be fired up for Jesus. For he will be in the midst of your fire, whatever it is. He'll come. He'll be there to bring you out. You won't be burned. You won't be hinged. Nothing will happen to you. Just got to come out and thank God for what he's doing. Even if you're in the midst of your fire right now, thank him that. Thank you, Lord, for bringing me out. I know I'm going through, but I know I'm coming out. I feel your presence right now. And somebody here today may feel the presence of God in their spirit. And now as the doors of the church open, if you feel the presence of God in the midst of your situation, and you've been praying and praying and praying, as I said in the beginning, call on the name of Jesus. He will answer. Is there one, as we open the doors of the church, who will come now and be with the one that's able to keep them from falling? The one who will be standing in the gap with you in the midst of your fire. Is there one? God is looking for fired up Christians who in the midst of the fire come out unsinged, unscathed, fired up for him. Is there one? Maybe you're in the presence of the Lord today and you've already come to the household of faith, but you're looking for a church home. I invite you now to join with brothers and sisters here on this corner of Zion and the Bethany Baptist Church to help do the work that God is looking for us to do. Won't you come?